All that is still to come, but in the meantime, the UN has issued a red alert about our warming planet at the start of the COP29 climate talks in Azerbaijan. The World Meteorological Organization said 2024 is on track to be the hottest year on record. The global average temperature increase from January to October was above the key 1.5 degrees Celsius limit agreed under the Paris Climate Treaty. But the UN says that doesn't mean the world has failed yet. It does, though, put the major economies meeting at COP29 under even more pressure to pledge financial support for poorer nations deeply impacted by global warming. Countries like Zambia in southern Africa, it's been hit hard by a major drought. And not only has that badly affected agriculture, it's also had a big impact on its power supply. The country relies heavily on hydropower, and the lack of water means it's having to ration electricity to just 3 hours a day. Our science correspondent Martin Stew went there to see how it's affecting everyday life.
Such is the scale of Kariba, the world's biggest man-made lake. The receding shoreline doesn't look overly worrying. But compared to this time last year, the lake on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe has lost enough water to fill Windermere 32 times, rendering the world's biggest dam almost useless in the face of the worldwide climate crisis.
Zambia gets 83% of its power from hydro, and this is its most important dam. From peak levels, the water has dropped 12 metres. There's now only 90 centimetres of usable water left.
To eke that out until the rain replenishes, just one of the 6 turbines is running.
If you ran all 6 now to get the maximum amount of power, how soon until the water ran out?
By that, within 30 days.
As a result, a coal power station is being fired up and electricity is only available 3 hours a day.
Climate change is real because the effect, for us, we are already experiencing it. The frequency of load shedding or drought will increase, and of that we need to look on another alternative source of power.
In the African sunshine, solar is an obvious solution. But without expensive batteries, the fridge at this health clinic won't work once the sun has set. So medicines have to be transferred into ice boxes.
That is very much important because it will maintain the temperature of the vaccines, and we do that once every evening and transfer the vaccines back to the fridge every morning.
The charity World Vision is helping where it can, providing food and water to this school. They've built a washing facility especially for girls who rely on handmade sanitary products so they can still come to school during their period. But no power means the pumps aren't working.
We can't wash our boat because there is no water.
In the once forested countryside, the lack of power is fueling a black market in charcoal. The trees which help prevent global warming being chopped down and burnt so families can afford to feed their kids.
Without the money of charcoal, it can be very difficult. It can be very difficult because for us, as you can see here, there's no other business that you can do.
The coals warm the streets of the capital Lusaka, but don't solve the electricity problem.
This one specifically needs electricity.
Despite investing in rechargeable clippers, Julian has seen his takings fall 85%.
The business goes down and I lose quite a good number of customers, especially at night, that I can't light up the place.
Business gets slow. Most shops are closed. Most companies rely on power. It can be good if we can make use of solar systems that can power our houses.
I'm assuming you need money to make that happen.
Of course.
Charities can't foot that bill alone, which is why the COP climate conference this year is all about finance. How much money should developed, polluting countries like the UK and US pay to developing nations to help them mitigate, or in other words, cope with global warming?
We are receiving support to address the impact of climate change, but this support is tilted towards immediate food assistance, and nothing has been placed on resilience building in order for countries like Zambia to better withstand the adverse impacts of climate change.
The rains are returning, but it will take years to refill Kariba. weathering the impact of global warming has come at a huge cost to this country. They now want help to foot the bill. Martin Stew, ITV News, Zambia.